Oh, hello, my fellow chess enthusiast. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. In today's episode, what we're actually doing is training for a friendly chess tournament that I'm going to be going to. And we're going to play the Alien Gambit. I'm not... Never mind, no, we're not. I think I just pushed this forward. I'm not 100% sure, but... Okay, I'm already out of opening prep. I was trying to play the Alien Gambit. I think now we're just in the Carl Klein advanced variation. I think there's definitely some fear. This is a line that I don't actually face too often, but I think we take. He develops the knight. I have to pin him. We're gonna do this. I'm cool with opening this diagonal. We'll develop this knight like this. We're kind of asking for it with the pin over here, and I'm not really 100% sure what to think about this queen over here. We could just step up, and we will do so. This queen seems like it's causing some problems, so I'm a little bit more comfortable just like instantly trading it off. We trade off the queens. We take in the center. We'll put this knight over here to defend this in case he ruins our pawn structure. Go ahead and ruin the pawn structure. I don't know if I care. And I think we might just go for this. Let's just go for it immediately. Okay, we'll step up. This is still defended, and I'm really kind of ready to attack this. You got a castle. Okay, you don't have to castle. You can play that instead. We'll play this so that this whole file isn't a problem. The knight can't jump in and attack my bishop. He can definitely step in like so. But I'll get freaky and defend with my king. And bro is playing just incredibly quickly. Okay, I have to trade that off. There's really no other option. This seems like the most forcing move. We step over. Oh. Do we? Yeah, this is defended twice. There's really no great way to, like, get rid of it. He could play this. Once I play this, his knight does jump in. But, I mean, I just step over. Okay, we're going to do it. I think this move looks fancy, but I don't think it's too incredibly scary. Like, he jumps in. Okay. Now we just play this. This is held. I'm not actually really threatening to do anything with any of these rooks over here. If anything, this rook is just now pinned, like stuck. So it looks good, but I have no wiggle room to do anything along this second rank. I think we just go for this. Trade. I'm going for it. My rook's in the position. Like, he's got a lot of threats. Like, but this is frozen. If I don't move my pieces, you don't got to move your pieces. So you're going to have to either give up on this or try and figure out a way to, like, make something happen over here. Where this move just gives me this. Okay, so he wants to step in. Let's think about this for a second. If I step in, we're actually chilling. You can't get in because my knight is here. This is still held. This doesn't do anything. I'm pretty quick to play a move like such. And my pawns are pretty freaking weak. We step back? Or do we just trade? And then we get behind this? Okay, what if I step here? He can get in. Let's trade. I'm not really convinced that it was great. We step here. You can get in, but I'm grabbing this immediately. He could play like this. Okay, we do grab this. We take. That gives him the check. We slide back. This guy is all of a sudden kind of weak. I've got 1 minute, but I'm up the pawn. I can kind of put pressure on this. He's going for this. Here, Take, take, step over, take. He wins 2 pawns there. What if I just launch? What do I do here? He's almost certainly going to win this. Here, here, push, take, take, and I just made a new outside pass pawn. Probably hit me with a check. I have to step back. I don't want to spend too much time here. I think this is the right move. Which pawn is more important? I think I push. Oh, but then you take here. I chase you away. Okay, we go for this. If you go here, I take this one. And then this becomes the new outside pass pawn. So we're going to take that. I'm shielded from the checks along this file. I think we go for this. We grab this. He grabs this. We get behind this. Doing it. This is how you win king and pawn endgames. We get behind this guy. He defends. Brilliant. Don't know what to do. His king is cut off. Fudge. We got to defend. Now he's going to try and freaking flag me, bro. Yikes. Where are you going, bro? You fudged up. You fudged up big time. Uh-huh. Oh, did he fudge up? Okay. Freaking get out of here, bro. Get out of here. And I'm going to take all of the pawns as well. He disconnected. It looks like he just left the game. That is a prime example of opposition right there. King and pawn endgame, but he fudged up in the end. He could have, one, just accepted the draw. 2, tried to flag me by keeping the rooks on the board. Or 3, let me win and trade off into a losing king and pawn endgame. And so he chose the latter. And so we've got 36 seconds. Oh my goodness, I almost feel bad for him here. I was winning though. Or at least I was on the happy side of the draw because I've got some extra pawns. But right here, I was happy taking the draw. I would have shuffled. I would have shuffled back and forth 100%. Even I would have shuffled my rooks there. But doing this, I think what he needed to do was just play this. That way when I step in, you get opposition. So if he plays this, I would have had to play something like this. Where he steps forward, I step forward, claim victory. So I think it was still a draw. He just had to be very patient. That's something that you're going to have to just learn about these end games. We're not even going to really analyze the beginning portion of this game. But let's just fly through this real quick. Not really 100% sure what to do here. Capturing is best. Develop some pieces. Probably the queen move is a little bit questionable. But you know what? It gets us out of a lot of problems. So we trade. That pawn is for sure just hanging. But I was scared about the queen. We trade back. Okay. Defend this because we're going to lose this defender. Trades the bishop for the knight to ruin my pawn structure, but who really cares? We then like solidify our center. We go to develop our piece. He trades, we trade. Completely even. Step forward with the king. Look how happy my king is doing such stuff. We really got to trade this because that's just too many attackers on this pawn. So we do this and it ruins his pawn structure. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now, sorry. My computer is so slow. Jesus. I thought about this move first. Because if he ever moves the knight, or like does something else with the knight, I am getting pretty active pretty quick. But whatever. We try and get active this way. It's still a draw. And then realistically, like I'm not actually threatening to infiltrate anywhere. So I'm actually not doing so well. He can like for sure push the pawn. He can move the knight. There's a lot of things that he can do here. But this gives me the trade, which puts my rook on the back rank, which is hard to deal with sometimes. We're stepping around. We trade the knights correctly. I'm slightly winning. We grab this pawn. He goes for the push. Capture is fine. Okay, still a draw. Capture. And then this is good. It's just like getting a defended square on my 7th rank. So pushing this pawn forward, that's a genius thing. I've still got 3 pawns on the 2nd rank. And he basically just like solidified the c2 square for himself. And my rook is nowhere. He was gobbling pawns. So we play correctly over here. Let's see how accurate this was. We push this pawn. I felt like saving this pawn and just... Oh, he could have just gone for this one. But then I step over and he grabs this one. And then I grab this one. Okay. Then it's a total draw. He screws up a little bit by letting me get this one. He could have gotten both pawns. We slide in. We're attacking this. I take correctly. He takes. And it's still just a complete draw. And I was really low on time. I had 35 seconds. There's no increment. So I was really okay to shuffle. This is still a draw. Sorry, let's make sure that I played the right moves. Okay, stepping over is still a draw. Stepping here is still a draw. I step up. He steps over. Where did he go astray? Oh, he could have stayed here. And then what am I doing? Here, here. And if I step back, you step forward. I step over, you step over, I step over, you step over. Okay, so he basically just yielded for no reason. But sometimes that's all you got to do, bro. Just trade down into a king-pawn endgame and hope that you don't blunder first. Sometimes that's all there is to it. Trade everything equally as you can. And, dude, at the very end of the game, I guess it's really not too incredibly hard to see, but when you don't have a lot of time on the clock, sometimes it will be a position just like this, where it's like, okay, let's say it's this position. Say it's like black's move, and he's got the option of playing all of these moves. Let's say, and only playing this is winning. Only playing that is winning. Everything else loses. Or it's like, I don't know how to explain it. You have to make like one really obscure pawn push on the side. Like say in this position, it's like, okay, I had to push a pawn. And sometimes it's really hard to calculate like the complete end race and stuff. So one thing that I recommend to play for playing higher rated opponents is just like get into a king and pawn endgame, and sometimes you'll be in the situation where the win is essentially impossible to calculate or very difficult. And sometimes you're just like faced with this decision. It's like, all right, should I slide my rook up here, or should I take the pawn with my king? And it, like they look kind of even, but it's like, oh, the rook move is winning and the king move is losing, and it's impossible to calculate either one. And sometimes, okay. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope that analysis wasn't too long. Sorry for yapping a whole bunch in the end. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Please subscribe. Today we are at 1900, baby. We made it. All right. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Get out of here. Bye.